My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived two deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Kipmount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Ses, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Not in the business, you catching fever. You getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. We coming, Well, it's gonna be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. Anywhere we meet obstacles, well, it's gonna be coming. Yeah, you come, man, yeah, we coming.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. If you can hear me, let me see. Let me check my audio. Okay, thanks, guys. Hey, let me check my audio and see if it's actually working. Okay, yes. Okay, it's fine. Okay, this is Munel Kishen, aka the General. Happy Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. And listen, I would decide who to give Christmas to. I would surprise you with a Christmas. You don't need to call and ask for Christmas. I would surprise you if it's necessary. So, you know, there's a Christmas song, carol I always sing and tease my little song. It started to say, "You are getting nothing for Christmas. You are getting nothing at all." You know, because you've been a bad boy, so you're not going to get Christmas. But don't worry. One way or the other, if you're in Liberia, share this video. I don't have to wait for whoever watching because I already share it on my page. They will see it later on. I'm just a one guy. I'm not running a platform where I'm going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people to discuss issues. My responsibility is to sell you a product. My responsibility is to talk to you about somebody who I believe is the best person. So, one way or the other, please, God will provide for you. You will not sleep hungry. One way or the other, somebody will put a smile on your face. You could get your Christmas gift tomorrow. If that's $5, $10, be thankful to God. Whatever comes your way, just say, thank you, Jesus, or thank you, Allah. So you don't need to call. You don't need to harass people because sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy. Imagine people who think that they got it. It's not easy. It's tough. There are people in Liberia, in America, who are struggling, trying to make ends meet. Even the one that who got it. The more you get, the more you spend. So don't worry about Christmas. It's a good thing. It's Jesus' birthday, but God will provide for you. You will find food to eat. Once you can eat, that's it. So for those of you who making the calls, especially some of my friends from the CDC side who look at us, one of my friends called me and I felt bad, but I was able to tell him the straight talk. I say, if you understand what you're going through, you would not argue and tell me, well, I vote for who I want to vote for. Yes, every decision we make in our life, it has consequences. So we very careful how we make decisions. So let us start. Our president yesterday turned on what? The Christmas tree. Okay, that the Christmas tree the people will eat. I remember Ellen turned on Christmas tree in 4 or 5 counties. She tried to take it to different counties. But because our president, let me just get on the president right now, because I see some of his supporters here. The president believed that Monrovia is Liberia. Monrovia is Liberia. Turning the Christmas tree on is just a program, just a symbol to say, yes, we do it this time to recognize there's Christmas. Other countries turn Christmas tree on the 15th of the month. Some start on the first day of December. But our president turned the Christmas tree on yesterday, the 21st, yesterday. You could go to Nima County and turn the Christmas tree on and have the program there. You can go to Sano County and have the program. You can go to Cape Mount and have the program. Let the other people be part of it. As much as I don't like Ellen, but I can remember Ellen did it in 4 or 5 counties, if somebody can just correct me. So it don't have to be in Monrovia alone. It don't have to be all the time to the executive mansion. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because of the system we have, it's good to take it to other counties. You see, in America is a Republican. The states are controlled by governors. It's a federal state, federal country. So every state will turn on a Christmas light to celebrate, to tell you, say, yes, Christmas is around the corner. Everybody going to do it. So don't compare yourself with America. But in Liberia, there are people in Liberia who don't even know that Christmas is on Sunday. Some of them thinking what they're going to eat on Sunday in other part of Liberia. But we only concentrate on Monrovia. Everything is Monrovia because the government concentrates on Monrovia. So, but when the leader of that country, of the government, don't have the ability and don't know what he's doing, that's where you find all this trouble. And one thing I noticed about some of the seditionists who think they try to be little bit and say, okay, I will try to be in the middle. They try not to blame President Weah for the failure of Liberia. They try to blame his surrounding. But I remember the last time we voted for president, there was a name on the ballot called George Manneh Weah that the Liberian people voted for. And this George Manneh Weah appointed everyone who's in government, not civil servant. So if I gave you a job and you're not performing, It is my responsibility to get that job from you, to take it from you. And that's how it is. Okay, to take the job from you. But instead, I'm still keeping you there. I only fire people who I think I don't like. Then I fire them. It's not fair. It's not fair to a lot of people. So, guys, the president of Liberia, George Manawia, has failed the people of Liberia. He failed the people of Liberia, whether we like it or not, whether you like it. The truth is the truth. We're not going to beat about the bush to say, oh, you know, the people that ran George, they're not correct. They don't want to spoil the president. The president that baby. The president that baby. No, the president is not a baby. We're paying the president to work. And we will always discuss things that happen for me November, December, going to next year. And let us go back again to remind you, it has never happened in Liberia. The only time people noticed it where I was not paying attention at the time was President Totman, who usually travel by ship, who would take 2 or 3 months to travel to the States and go back. Now, unless the president's sick, unless the president is sick, when the president travel and he want to stay anything over 7 days, the president is responsible to sponsor himself. But, you know, when I hear seditious and other people saying that, well, who will not want to go see the child playing? That means you're not a good father. Oh. If you are a private citizen, you can go see your child playing. Even if you're a president and you want to go there, take an excuse, take a vacation. It's on you. It's on you. When the president of the United States going to watch his daughter or son, it's on him. The governor of New York the former governor of New Jersey used the state helicopter because he wanted to go and see his son playing. He used the state helicopter to beat the traffic. They almost told him to resign. They said that he was going to pay, and he paid almost $2,000 just for that trip. When the president of the United States, go and check it for yourself, it's facts. If the president of the United States take any of his friends and put them on Air Force One, they pay up to $15,000. When the president of the United States call for a Super Bowl party or any kind of party, his personal party at the White House, it's on him. I'm not talking about the White House dinner boy whatsoever. If he called for a Super Bowl party, it's on him. If the president of America going to campaign for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, the party will pay the government up to $1 million. They got to, the only thing they dare to do, but he got to use the Air Force One because they can't put in a commercial plane. So they will have to pay some money back to the government. That's why most of the presidents use the time indirectly to campaign as if they're doing government job. So it's the same corrupt, but nobody knows. You see that? So in Liberia, our president took the time to go to Morocco for what? Nobody knows. And travel, and then went to watch his son game. Okay, we've given a pass to watch his son game. But not only his son game, he watched Brazil game. He watched another game. You see that? Use our time, use the country's money to entertain himself and receive $2,000 a day for 49 days, excluding his lodging and other stuff. And imagine his officials that follow him, that travel along with him. He came to the United States. He spent a week, almost 2 weeks before going to DC for the conference. It's so shameful that the president of Liberia, for the first time in Liberia, excluding Charles Taylor, who refused to even come, he was afraid to even come to the UN, that the Liberian president cannot even have an audience with the president of the United States. Liberia, that people say, oh, America's stepchild. The only time our president had that opportunity to meet the president of the United States, apart from going to the UN, when he met Donald Trump, was when they invited African's president. Yet, he still don't have one-on-one with the president. Other countries have one-on-one. All we got from the president that the president wanted was a selfie. And he got the selfie. And all this president wanted was to walk and stand in the Oval Office to take pictures, and he got it. And failed the Millennium Challenge where they're supposed to get some money. But you see, God ain't let ugly. God knows why they didn't give it to us. God knows the reason why Liberia did not. Because they were going to eat it. The one that people gave to say, we will be checking on you, use this money, they ate it. Then the one that they giving to you free, they were going to eat it. God ain't let ugly. God don't like ugly. That is simple. And the president went back to Liberia. And all his citizens who are seditious, went to the airport to receive him in their uniform. And this president went into a church that is so disgraceful, a bishop who I had a lot of respect for before, but now I don't have respect for him. I don't even know him. Bishop Winger allowed the president of United States, the president of Liberia, to take the pulpit and insult Liberians, calling his opponent and nuppet, insulting people in the church, throwing hymns. Maybe he was drunk on that day, nobody knows. And they were all clapping. Only seditious, all he know, that was the citizen he was reporting to. Then from there, he drove to his CDC head office. What kind of president will travel, come back, and go to report to the country? You go to CDC head office to report and start to tell the people, oh, the thing they spoiled for 12 years is the one we're fixing. No, Mr. President. The Rubberfield Highway, as we know, it was already small. We know that. But it was still clean. You broke it up because of politics. You try to do other things because of votes, and you mess it up. The Grand Bassa Road is messed up today. All the other roads are all messed up. The wonderful so-called by road medicine. By road medicine. All these roads that you talk about was initiated and was signed into, but all the contracts were signed by the previous administration. And you need to take it out. But you try to put everything under your belt and say that's your achievement. No, Mr. President, it is not your achievement. You have done nothing to achieve it, to get anything. Today, we have more people out of jobs than when you took over. Today, we got more poor people in Liberia than you took over. Today, we got more beggars in Liberia in less than 5 years. Today, we got more professionals who have turned to be professionals beggars in Liberia. Today, under your administration, there are a lot of mysterious deaths under your administration compared to the 12 years administration. You have not created one job. You have not encouraged or gotten any companies to come to Liberia. Only the one you met there, and some left already. You have acquired more properties for yourself than even a project, government projects. You have built more houses in 5 years than President Tubman in 27 years. Today, our people, this is your 5th Christmas. Today, our people are struggling to find food to eat for Christmas. You make payment, you pay government salaries, you brag about it as if it's a appreciation or you giving it them free. Their own money they work for. Your people today will be having a very good Christmas. Your Christmas started yesterday. You and your ministers and your close allies, their Christmas started from the December 1st to now, and they are enjoying while Liberians are suffering. Nobody hates you, President Weah. Nobody. But the facts is the facts. The CDC, when they were in opposition for 12 years, they had more protests in Liberia than ever, than any other group. They had a highest number of protests. Even they killed the president and put the president in the casket while she was still alive. They took her panties and they put ketchup on it and they had it in the street and they disgraced this woman. You tormented her for 12 years and she kept the peace. Now the people of Liberia are keeping the peace and you pretending to be the peacekeeper. No, you are not the peacekeeper. The citizens of Liberia are the peacekeepers because they are not demonstrating. Honor your administration in the last 5 years. Then demonstrate. Apart from June 7 and January 6 and a few little hand packed or whatsoever. No. Now, this ball, you believe that everybody in Liberia should support you? No. The lady who's, I think, the vice president of the Marketing Association in Douala, who was at the rally, she's been suspended. Ansu Bility, of private citizens who contributed $10,000. He was member of the CDC Royal Brigade, CDC Royal Guard, and they said they're done with CDC. And they met Mr. Cummings and contributed $10,000, Liberian dollar. They terminated his contract from Water and Swore because he supports Mr. Cummings. But some fools will be on this platform, on my platform, and say, but yes, the man can be, the CDC government can get a man contract, then the man support this. Everybody will not support President Weah. Everybody will not support Mr. Cummings. Everybody will not support Joseph Boakai. Everybody will not support Tiawan Gonglo. If you have that mindset, you will get a good country. If you have that mindset, it is your right to support Weah, and it is my right to support Mr. Cummings. Now, so President Weah has failed the people of Liberia. Fail everything. You look at the good and the bad on President Weah. President Weah got more bad things than good. That is how you judge people. They say you go into school, you got 15 subjects. You pass 3, you stay fail. You pass 5, you stay fail. You know what I'm saying? So, President Weah, Liberians, we're telling you today, you cannot give President Weah a second term. If you do that, you will be committing a suicide. The world will laugh at you. The world will laugh at you. The entire neighborhood, the entire world knows that President Weah has failed. But they will not make that decision for you. You will have to make that decision. And President Weah brags, he said, you will not do nothing. He can even go on Broad Street and shoot anybody. There's nothing. You will still vote for him. But I'm still processing Which are the votes he's talking about? I'm still processing to know. You understand? Now, and I sure by this time the fake news is on. They ain't ready for commies yet. But they started it with 7%. We are the member of the 7% group. We are proud to be 7%. We are the underdogs. That is why we are fighting. We're standing between two parties who believe that they were the only party in the country. Unity Party and CDC. Mr. Cummings is in the middle. There are a group who want to come back to power after 12 years. There's another group who is enjoying the 5 going to 6 years. So we are doing everything. The man with the 62% complaining, bypassing 38% and saying it's 22% is at 7% want to be president, beating on 7%. The 38% guy is beating on the 7%. The 1% and 2-3% is beating on the 7%. Ask yourself the question: why? Why 62 not worry about 38? When you pass by 38, you go into number 7. Okay, I get it. Number 1, number 2, number 3, beating on number 7, which is no problem because number 7 in front of him. So, and number 7 supposed to be beating on number 38 and 38% and 61%. Yeah. When you ask them, the fake news group, Spoon, when you ask Spoon, your national poll, your so-called polls that you usually do, what's the position? They will tell you, Mr. Weah, Joseph Boakai, and Mr. Cummings. They took Mr. Cummings and get Mr. Cummings to the 3rd place. But we, the supporters of CPP, which Mr. Cummings is the standard bearer, we are still looking at ourselves 5th place. That is why we're working hard. But if the public, the country, and the other people can put Mr. Cummings to 3, the 3rd position, that means the work that I'm doing, we are successful. We are the fastest growing political organization. If you can take me from 5 to 3, that means I'm just a heartbeat away to 2 or 1. And the campaign has not started yet. That is why we are saying that we will win the first round. We are not comfortable with our position. We are looking at number 1. Number 2 is still enjoying number 2 spot and comfortable with number 2 spot. You understand? So that is why today, when you look at the fake news media, they only tell you about Alexander B. Cummings Jr. They will tell you about Alexander Cummings Jr. They will tell you about ABC. They will tell you about ANC. They will tell you about CPP. They will talk about Musa Bility. They will talk about Louis Brown. That's the topic. To them, they believe that they can damage Mr. Cummings and keep George Weah and Joseph Boakai in the race. Be careful what you wish for. Because the fake news, when we damage, because the fake news, this host on the fake news is a strong supporter, don't let nobody fool you, of Joseph Boakai. So his strategy, 1, I need my radio station to be re-registered, not to delay me. So I would not attack the government. I would not attack Joseph Boakai, but I will attack Mr. Cummings. And because Mr. Cummings' members are on my back, so every time I will attack, I would disgrace, I would damage Mr. Cummings. But he's a little boy. So you see how he playing? They believe that once they can continue to hate Mr. Cummings, and we got 3 radio stations, which is in Monrovia and part of Magibby County, that's it, or Kakata, we will tear Mr. Cummings off. Then the Liberian people will only look at Joseph Boakai and George Weah. They refuse to talk about the Millennium Card. He refused to talk about the president town hall meeting. He refused to talk about the president making a statement or reckless statement, insulting other people, calling names. And whether you seditious or you from UP or you from ANC, not a day Mr. Cummings ever insulted any of his colleagues. Mr. Cummings have never attacked Bernard Ure. He have never attacked Mr. Boakai or George Weah. He only speak about George Weah and don't talk about Mr. Boakai. We are the one who talk about Mr. Boakai. But Mr. Boakai have attacked Mr. Cummings on 2-3 different occasions. He called Mr. Cummings a Congo man behind closed door, that not in this age he will allow a Congo man to be president. 2, nobody know he will not going to give this country to a stranger. And all of them said it. And you said the same thing, but Mr. Cummings never. I challenge someone to put me on record. Never ever. People who Mr. Cummings even sponsors insulted him. Henry Costa used words on Mr. Cummings. The host of Spoon used words on Mr. Cummings. Disappointed. He's this. He's a money launderer. Where he getting his money from? All kinds of things. They insulted Mr. Cummings. He can never be. Why you can go as vice president? His political career is over. If you cannot go to Mr. Boakai, get off the race. Mr. Cummings still relax. Mr. Cummings is the real progressive leader of Liberia. All the fake progressive people, Cummings is the real progressive. Look at him. You know how progressive behave. He is the real progressive. Because you know what? He has everything that he wants. The problem with the progressive, they are so poor, when they take over, they try to make themselves rich. It's not that they got bad ideas. You can tell from the interim government that passed, Amos Sawyer. Every one of them work in that government and try to steal. That is the whole thing about it. So, I'm telling you today, Alex Cummings is the best choice of Liberia. Liberia have tried. Look, we are at peace. There will be no more war in Liberia. No more war. We have tried military up to soccer star. It is time that we try a manager, a businessman, or entrepreneur. These are the people. This is the kind of people we need in Liberia. Leadership, my people, ain't need no rocket science degree to know if you're a leader. Just by controlling your home, leadership starts from in your house. You can't control your own children. You can never be a good leader. If you fail to control your children in the house, you will never be a good leader. That's what President Weah did. President Weah never lived in a house for a year or two with his kids. No, never. So he don't understand what it means by controlling. So he can't control Liberia. He couldn't control himself, so he can't control Liberia. Now, we try politicians. When Ellen came into power, the purpose of Ellen was when the international community look at Ellen, they say, hey, this country now to put it together, they need somebody who know how to put things, which Ellen did. Ellen put it together. Ellen organized the government, but she failed to fight corruption, and she failed to unite the people of Liberia, which she herself admitted, I failed to fight corruption. But Ellen had government that was set up that any good leader could have just run with it. Until we brought this guy who was once the peace ambassador, the darling boy of Liberia, the king of soccer, the only man who loved Liberia, the only man who got Liberia at heart, the only man that we were blind and praise and say he's the only man who came with UN to disarm, the only man who played for Lone Star, one player against 11 players, and we played. The only guy who went in a refugee camp and gave money to the people. The only guy, event went for 1990. But we're still looking for the pictures and the videos. The only man who went around and started to help Liberians, pay Liberian school fees, we made him president. We brought him in and made him president of Liberia. That was his pay. That was his benefit. The only man who rose up to a president without fight, who never went to jail, the only politician, soccer player, who never spied jailhouse, who was never suppressed by anybody because he was a soccer star. We gave him the presidency. We said, thank you for all the things you did for us. What he did in 5 years. He took the government from the road that was on the road. He took it into the bush and threw it into the septic tank. And everything has increased. More poverty, hardship, more crazy people in the town, no justice, more mysterious deaths, police killing people, harassing people. People cannot sleep home. People leave the street every day by 5 o'clock to rush to the house before somebody. They have created more Zogos. Nobody born a child to be criminal. Government policies make people criminal. When there is no job, they will steal. Corruption is in the street of Monrovia driving a Mercedes-Benz. Corruption do not hide anymore under the government of George Manuel Weah. Corruption is at its peak. The president refused to fire until the United States of America, that President Weah begs for everything, telling you, said 3 of your government officials are corrupt. And since you can't take them out, we don't want to do business with them anymore. The government of America said that this government, the government of President Weah, is running a kleptocratic government. You use the people money for yourself. It's wrong. We all know that. That is why we said, come 2023, the last protest, the last rally, the end will be at the ballot box. Liberians are stupid. Liberians are not stupid people. You can fool them first. You can't fool them for the second time. They will not just sit and allow you to control them. Yes, they are afraid. Most of them are cowards. But they can take action when they are not looking at your face. We got a president who we consider peace ambassador. But today we are divided. Or sedition will come and insult my mind, insult myself, insult me. Or sedition will look at you and call you names. Another opposition will look at sedition and call their names. Who started cursing? It came from opposition. It came from opposition. At that time, there was CDC. Who started protesting? CDC. Because of what President we are doing, that's why other people so mad and pissed off. So I hate the president. The president not feeding nobody. The president is not feeding us. He's not going around giving people food for him to control them. All the president won is I have never seen for the last 5 years, President Weah have not taken no responsibility to say, okay, I'm responsible. He have never. Ask yourself the question. Seditions, you won't tell me, you as an individual, in your whole life, you made no mistakes? In the 5 years of President Weah, just what he did on the national team, President Weah have never taken a responsibility to say, okay, I take full. Even Ellen Johnson, all the way her son stole the money, she said, I take full responsibility of no car. President Weah cannot take responsibility of his government failure. He tried to blame opposition who not collecting taxes. He blaming opposition that's not taking the government money to rent or private jet. He blaming opposition who does not go to the United Nations, who are not even at the White House. Opposition pay taxes. Opposition do not make appointment in government. Opposition do not collect taxes. The taxes is collected and everything is by President Weah. But President Weah is blaming opposition for all the mess. And some of you guys are watching you, and I will call it out. You yourself, Ben Sevi, I'm watching you. You know everything. I know you, Madam Joel Howard's son. I want you to hear me and hear me good. You will decide which way to go. If you try to play a political gamble or game, my brother, you're too young. You will fall inside. You will fall. You went to Liberia as an independent candidate the first time. You challenged President Weah in the Monserrado election. The only difference between you and President Weah at the time, because he was a celebrity, that's what gave it to him. They just gave it to him because he was a celebrity. Then you became chairman. Nobody say you can't speak to your people. The same people who there when you made a call and the vice president pick up and the vice president say, oh, say who's that? When they left the party headquarters, they go in the car together. And the vice president say, the president say, who's that? Oh, that Ben. Ben, you better come back home. Listen. There is nobody with the balls can betray us. We will catch you before the time reach. That is why we start early. I said it in January last year. I said, what's happening now? In fact, my post, I can still remember my post. 2021 post for New Year. I said there will be a lot of surprises. We were expecting UA to take Mr. Cummings to court in March because it was in the making. But they brought it quicker. They brought it in January, so it's all good. So everything you're doing, we're ahead of you. I call your name for a reason. I call your name. And I know, I'm telling you, I'm not going to eat crab with shame. You are a member of a Liberty Party. You remain with your Liberty Party. But because of political, some people say, oh, it's interest, political interest. President Weah will not win election in Liberia. I really want to see that magic unless he cheats and it will be a chaos. And my belief, if you are a statistician, I am not. But my common little sense would tell me that no way President Weah can win. 2017. 3 parties, CDC, NPP, LPDP. All the CDC voted in the town, they got 38%. Oh, it was in the second round when other opposition joined George Weah to give him a victory because George Weah was going against a ruling party. Now, the highest you ever went in every primary, every other by election or May 10 was 30%. The last election, 2020, President Weah CDC got 30%, no, 35% of the votes. Because Monserrato will tell you exactly the percentage when you look at it. CDC came out with only 35%. And CDC got a problem. You think opposition got a problem? No, opposition do not have problem. CDC is the one who has a serious problem because they are already together. And they are not together because NPP is not happy, LPDP is not happy, and Prince Johnson Party is not happy. Now, if we go into 2021, if there will be a second round, which I still doubt, because we will defeat you guys in the first round. If there will be a second round, George Weah now is the ruling party. George Weah is in the seat of the ruling party. The opposition, with the mess that going on in Liberia, you need a rocket science to tell Liberia the suffering now. You know that one. Everybody will rally around anyone who goes again. So when I hear people talking, you know, no one person can defeat President Weah. Stop it, man. Stop it. The only election that we all witnessed for one person to go 2 terms was Ellen Johnson. That's the only people who let us. Ellen Johnson alone won election. The first round ended, they went into second round. People distributed her. She didn't join any party, although people went and voted for her. Before it was in her second term when she brought the Action Party and whatsoever. Charles alone won election. George Weah, who is not doing nothing, who got more red marks on his card, then you telling me that, stop it. Now, when you talk about opposition disunity, the opposition not together, who told you that the opposition must be in one group to have one party before you know they are oppositions? You can have 4, 5, 6 oppositions. Now, ask yourself, this coming election, we might, if it's possible, reach 5 candidates. But for now, we know about 3 candidates. The other candidate is still trying to pick up. He said he's going to run, Tiawon Gonglo, which it is his right. Another candidate came out. So the 22 candidates that you know before, they're not coming back in the race. Because Alex Cummings have changed the whole race, how the whole politics work. Alex Cummings started saying 2017, 2018, he started running the campaign to reintroduce himself. So other people said, no, that they lit. They already lit. Even the reverend who want to run now is lit. Tiawon himself struggling that is lit. You see that? So we got 3 parties. The oppositions are together. They don't have to be in the same group. Members from the opposition, yes, we argue with each other, but some people don't know that it's helpful. We can talk, we can argue, but because you and myself, we are in the race. But this is the thing. Have you seen in some of the relays where America is represented by 2, 3 of their people doing the same 400 meters and whatsoever? The UEFA tournament. Some countries got 2 teams. If one drop, that's it. But if 2 of them meet in the final, that's it. Vanessa and her sister, they met in the final before. Although they play on the same team, but they met in the final before. So, UP and ANC are opposition. It is possible that UP and ANC can go in second round. It is impossible. If you say yes, that means you're not a human being. It is possible that George Weah cannot even make the first round. So if it go between ANC and UP, what do you think is going to happen? And we're going to campaign. It's going to be more deadly because UP won it, ANC won it. It's going to be hard. You stop fooling yourself. If anybody tells me that the opposition is not connected and they dismantle, they are not member of the opposition party. They're from CDC. If anybody say, oh, hey, let me tell you the thing, and the opposition discouraging me, that means go to Joshua. What there to convince you that Joshua will win? What in it to convince you? Monrovia is Monrovia. People are hungry. People will show up to rallies every day because they want to eat. They will also do it to opposition. Listen again. There was a girl who went to the rally that was organized by the opposition. Now you say UP, not the opposition. I'm not saying UP, I say opposition. Because ANC, Liberty Party, and all of that opposition. She went there and they interviewed her. So what are you here for? Oh, she got on Cummings t-shirt. She said, hey, I won't see Mr. Cummings. But the people stopping me from seeing Mr. Cummings. I won't see Mr. Cummings, but they're stopping me. So what you want to see Mr. Cummings for? Because I won't talk to him. I want him to help me. My husband died. I got 3 children. I want money. I want this. I want that. So they said, but who are you voting for? Oh, I know who I'm voting for. I get a person in my heart who I'm voting for. When they push us, she say, I voted for George Weah. Bam. This woman voted for George Weah before. So she still voted for George Weah again, but things are hard. She came to the opposition rally for help. Some people say, oh, they just won't eat Mr. Cummings' money. You see, she ain't eat Mr. Cummings' money. Going there ugly, she never ate it. Going there ugly. That is why somebody stopped her from even seeing Mr. Cummings. But trust me, if you're going to meet Mr. Cummings, maybe her mouth is going to live for. But in her heart, she knows who she won't vote for. She voted for him before. But guess what now? If people who know her to be a George Weah supporter, but she had on the Cummings t-shirt, it's a promotion. Oh, don't you know that it's a promotion? If somebody know her to be George Weah supporter, and the person say, oh, look at my girl, she's supporting Mr. Cummings. The person do know your plan. That person is supporting Mr. Cummings too. So at the same time, if you think you're going to use someone to wear the t-shirt, but you know you're not supporting them, understand that you are promoting that person too. Okay, if you understand the one, then that's it. But this woman, she's not a new voter. She voted for George Weah before. Things hard on her. Her husband died. Her children can't go to school. She didn't get business. She came to the opposition to go big. But at that same rally, she said, hey, I know who I'm going to vote for. She lied. That's truth. It happened to us. There's a woman, and I will call her name Mahawa. My brother gave Mahawa $100,000 liberty to help people in the community, to give them loan, because she was one of the big women. Mahawa registered in Bomi County. She voted for Edwin Snow. She's not even voting in Montserrat. But she put my brother under the impression that she was voting, and the people in the area said, no, that woman not voting. I went there, she said she voted. On the voting day, I drove there, I said, Ma, let me drop you. She started playing delay 30. She never showed up. I came to her all the day, I said, oh man, you shouldn't have lied. You are just going to help us to campaign instead of lying. That's what the people do in Liberia. I've never seen people who glorify their suppressors. I never see Liberian men, they're sorry for somebody who killed a man in power. Only Liberian people can do it. You hard, the stinks are hard. No, I will just vote for him. I just love him. And you eat it same. You can't find food for your children to eat. But I just love the man. That's a good thing. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's fine. It's perfect. They got people in the ANC who just love Mr. Cummings. They got people in the ANC who just love Mr. Cummings. Some of us, we have posted things before and they attack us. You know what I'm saying? And they attack us. This is Spoon. Spoon is on right now. The viewers on Spoon, they got 63. They got 63 person watching them. I got 45 people watching me. I bring this number up because in Liberia, almost Liberia, you can see plenty of numbers. When you go to CNN, CNN stream the news. When you look there, they will tell you how many person watching. It's not an easy thing to see 4,000 people sitting watching the nonsense I'm talking. For 4,000 people, 5,000 people be watching Spoon. The other day, I was watching them, there were 4,000 views. By the time they shut the show off, I went there, they were 1.7 instead of 4,000. I'm just trying to tell you. Yeah. 59. I got 47. So that's it. But my people, this is what we're looking for. When you if you put the three candidates together, look, Liberia, we tired. We're not looking for political leader. Everybody can be a good leader. I can take you yourself be a good leader. It's for you to make a decision, a firm decision, for you to stand by it. Who told you that President Weah don't know that the taxi driver or the government car can drive on the opposite lane? Who told you that President Weah don't know that the people killing in Liberia every day? Who told you that President don't know about the people suffering? But he just decided to play blind eyes. Or he decided he took his eyes and gave it to his supporters because some of the supporters don't want to tell. And let me tell you why I believe that most of the people around George Weah will not tell him because they don't want to spoil the job. When I went to DC the other day, look at this thing. Seditions put me out because I am not a sedition. I shouldn't videotape. I shouldn't go live. But other people are going live. So forget it. They're just ordinary people who not closer to George Weah. So I put it. But when George Weah was entering the hall, when he enters, I yell, Eugene Namwe. Eugene Namwe answered me. He recognized my voice. He turned around and said, hey, what's up? I said the people refuse for me to go inside because I am not a sedition. He said, what? I'll be back. He went inside. Carrasco came by me. I said, why they stop me? Because I'm not a sedition. He said, oh no, it's wrong. In fact, the president said he wanted to talk to everybody. It's not correct. But listen, I'll be back. Let me put the fire in. My friend and brother, Chokonkwi, Minister of State for all portfolio, asked me, but what are you doing outside? I said, my man, the people stopped me. We started laughing. Said, I'll be back. Every one of them went out there, inside. If they were smart, none of them thought about it to say, oh, let's go and get money because he outside there, people watching him and say, this president only talking to seditions. Nobody could make that decision. That's how President Weah surrounding. George Manning came to me, General, what's up? What are you doing outside? I said, but the men are behind you. Prince Sheriff is the one who called the people on me and put me outside. But why Prince? Prince, let's just go and we'll talk later. Joel Williamson. He said, my man, what happened coming here? I said, but y'all put me outside. Or later asked him, said, my man, but why y'all, it's not correct. Why y'all stopping him from going in? He said, my girl, it's above me. So you see, nobody can look at president because nobody wants to get on the Bassa. Eugene Namwe don't want to get on the Bassa. Carrasco, so they tell President Weah what's going on. It's the same thing some of them did before with President Weah. Some people refuse. Karika was with President Weah. Did Karika told President Weah the truth at the time he was George Manning Weah? Maybe every one of them play the cards to keep themselves moving. Because and that is one of the biggest problem we have. And I bet you people do it to Mr. Cummings too. People do it to Mr. Cummings. There are people who sit by Mr. Cummings, do not ask him questions. There are people who sit with Mr. Cummings, will not ask Mr. Cummings questions. Only Mr. Cummings alone will be talking to them. How are you? How you coming on? How the family doing? Okay. How they doing? Okay. But nobody can ask Mr. Cummings, say, Mr. Cummings, how everything with you? How the family doing? You okay? Mr. Cummings, you know, this the people who will talk to Mr. Cummings, they will be fireplace. I bet you somebody sit there, call Mr. Cummings, they don't open them mouth. We are the one that mess leaders up. That is why if I talk to any leader, I tell you, say, please do not leave your eyeball with your surrounding and don't leave your ears with your surrounding. Because they're the one will kill you. They're the one will damage you. You know what I'm saying? When I was with my late boss man, I was his everything. But maybe that's where my whole political thing came from. I was not afraid to tell him the truth. When I hear anything in labor ministry that the people are pissed off and whatsoever, when we get in that car, I say, Mr. Minister, your people not happy. Your people planning X, Y, Z. When I may go to a cap to see on staff meeting with the director, he will solve that problem. How you know? Because I finished telling him. I say your people are not happy and blah 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 blah. This once I tell he's not going to get vexed. That's why I say Mr. Cummings reminds me of Serenius Fall. Mr. Cummings is a progressive. Yes. He reminds me of Serenius Fall. Maybe that is why my commitment is into this guy. Mr. Fall will not go after nobody. I will tell you, I said, Prof, you see the bone on the tree? The people are pissed off because of X, Y, Z. When Mr. Cummings go to that meeting, he will talk about it. And he will solve the problem. And he will say, listen, so person not happy, this and that. I used to take my late bossman to the police station. I used to put people case on my head. I used to take my friend and look, I had advantage. Everybody thought I don't follow my father from a white woman. That is what I see in Alex Cummings. That is why. Maybe that what makes some of us different. If I was never going to work with Mr. Ford, maybe the first guy I'm going to work with who corrupt, I was going to be a super corrupt man, because if Mr. Ford was corrupt, my people, the thing I saw with my eyeball, I was going to be corrupt. My boss man told me, he said, son, no matter how you live in the world, that one thing you live for the people who behind you. Do not live for yourself. Serenius Ford told me that. Do not live for yourself. You live for the people behind you. Because the people behind you, when you live for them, they will live for other people. So anything you do it, don't do it because you want to benefit. My people, between you and myself, I had the same opportunity to sit down in a corrupt government and steal. Where it will carry me? It will not carry me nowhere. I will just disgrace myself, my family. Yes. That is why I am not afraid to talk to my boss or my political leader. I met Tiawon Gonglo. I asked my question. When we finished, we all ate. We ate in the same bowl. We ate cassava gravy in the same bowl that night. They our Mandingo friend and brother. Not because I say Mandingo now. Our Mandingo friend, our Mandingo, but they cook it good. Then, when I started talking to him, I told him, I said, you see the people there, and are your people here? That the people who not telling you the truth, that you are lit in the process. You are lit in the process. I told him. He said, "Why your boss man?" I said, "We don't fall west because he know fall that." He asked for fall west because he know me. I know him very well. If I was going to come around 2017 and this and that, maybe I'm going to be behind him too. He's not a bad man. Don't get me wrong, but he's lit. And I told him, I said, oh, the other guy said, General, stop him. I said, no, 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 no. Because you're the one who petitioned him. I asked him, I said, when you decided, it was this year when these people call me, and they petition me. I said, but in America, they're not even in Liberia, they still hustling for money. I'm trying to say this, that the people who surround these leaders are not correct. I'm not accusing everybody, but that's what happened with us. That is why in Liberia today, we still got bad people. And Mr. Cummings is the only one who's saying that I understand they're bad, but they are Liberians. I understand they are corrupt, but they are Liberians. I don't have the paper, I don't have proof. We prosecute people in the public court of opinion. We all just look at John Brown. John Brown get money today. John Brown corrupt. We just look at somebody, we don't like you because you spoke to Mr. Kishan yesterday. Oh, you just like him. So Mr. Cummings is saying that whether you fought the war, you are Liberian. I cannot manufacture new group of people. That's the country I met. 90% of the people in this country had their own way of doing things. Wise man changes. When President Bill Clinton signed the Prison Act and whatsoever in the country, at that time there were criminals in America, but the white cops took advantage of it and went after only black people. When you ask President Clinton today, he said, if at this time I would do a different way. Mr. Cummings went to Cape Mount. The people took Mr. Cummings and put him on or in a hammer. They asked Mr. Cummings on the Zion show. Mr. Cummings said, listen, if it come back, I will not go in that hammer. It reminds me about what happened before. I was just around at the time when they did it, but I would never do it again. Only a good leader will accept. Mr. Cummings is the only guy who reaching out to people. Whether you are Zogo, you got a voting card. Louis Brown had a voting card. And Toga McIntosh had a voting card. They all voted for CDC. They work. CDC is in bed with NPP. NPP are Liberians. Prince Johnson was a Liberian man. Whether we want a war crime court or not, he is a Liberian. Mr. Cummings is the only one who can reach out to people who don't support it. Now, let's come to Darius Dillon. Darius Dillon said, and I quote, Mr. Cummings called him. I want to talk to you. Oh, I can't talk to you. If you won't talk to me, talk to my political leader. She's my political leader. Darius Dillon, you're not a smart guy. You're not smart. Mr. Cummings, was that a crime Mr. Cummings committed that I won't talk to Darius Dillon? No. Mr. Cummings can still call Mr. Boakai and say, I won't talk to you. I want you to get off the race. I need your support. Mr. Boakai can say yes or no. Mr. Boakai can say, Mr. Cummings, I won't talk to you. I want you to go as my vice president. Mr. Cummings can say no or yes. So if Mr. Cummings called Darius Dillon that I won't talk to you, and you put it up and say, Mr. Cummings called me, but I told him, say, I can't talk to him. Let him talk to Yombli Kanga. You and Mr. Cummings, who's the big guy? You just make Mr. Cummings to score a point. That Mr. Cummings can reach across the aisle. If you, Darius Dillon, was to go there and say you do not refuse call, you can refuse what is in the call, Mr. Senator. Mr. Senator, you gave a lot of parables around sometime. They say you do not refuse a call. What is in that call is what you either accept or don't accept. But if you think that you come up, no, I told you, say, I can't talk to him. I bet you Henry Costa with all his nonsense, he was going to talk to Mr. Cummings. If Mr. Cummings take the phone, and like I say, he said Mr. Cummings can text him happy birthday, and also he texts Mr. Cummings happy birthday and all. But if Mr. Cummings call Henry Costa today and say, I won't talk to you, Henry Costa will talk to him, and what he will do, he will tell people, oh, I talked to Mr. Cummings yesterday, and there is nothing wrong. Listen, you people think it's private. It's not private. If the man don't want you to say it out, let me tell you today what the people do. They say, excuse me, I want to talk to you off record. The people, they say, I'm talking to you off record. That means you don't need to tell somebody. But if a political leader and myself get on the phone and we're talking on national issues, especially if I'm talking about my party issue, I don't have to carry out. Now, get me straight here. If I'm talking to Mr. Cummings and I'm talking about Mr. Cummings winning or strategizing for something, I don't have to tell you. But if President Weah or Mr. Bwaka or whosoever say, oh, I won't talk to you, son, I will talk to you. But when I talk to you, it is my right to tell the people who discuss. It's not a secret, which is truth. But at least I show up. But if you call me and then I come out and say, guess what? Mr. Bwaka called me yesterday and can't tell me, say he won't talk to me. So I said, no, you can't talk to me. You won't talk to me. Go talk to Mr. Cummings. Why you won't talk to me for Mr. Cummings, a political leader? Do you know who the dumbest and stupid person? That's me. That's me. So y'all listen to the tip. It make nothing. It just tells you that Mr. Cummings, that is what a politician does. You go out to people who don't like you. And Darius Dillon will not lie about it. Mr. Cummings' hard sweat is in his stomach. It's on his campaign that make him to win. Mr. Cummings' hard sweat, because Mr. Cummings working government before. So that means he worked for his money good. You know what I'm saying? So that tape, you're not made that tape move, yo. That's another promotion for us. Mr. Cummings, they say Mr. Cummings is desperate to be president. Yes, you must be desperate. Like how Henry Costa is desperate to be senator. Like how Darius Dillon was desperate to be senator. Because he ran before, he got nothing. According to him, he said he ain't got nothing. He ran again, he got it, and then came for re-election and got it. After he got it, he broke up the CPP. Because there is no way a Liberty Party could win in Montserrado County. If they were to go separate, no way Liberty Party were going to win in Montserrado County. If you go by the numbers. If you go by the numbers. Mr. Cummings had to push Yeke aside for Darius Dillon to go. Mr. Cummings had to swallow things to let other people go. You think he's stupid? We're not stupid, yeah? We're not stupid. Mr. Cummings will be the next president of Liberia. It's on the wall, but you can see it. Only people with good eyes will see. You still living in denial that Mr. Cummings is nobody. But you call his name 24/7 on the Spoon Show. Okay, right now they're on the VP. They're talking about CDC winning election. You know, the fake news, they don't know where to go. They worry about their registration. For me, I'm running a one-man show. So I ain't got to bring nobody up here. So the good is that I'm telling you that is how we defeat them. And they will not beat that debate. They will not bring some of us on the show. And I can challenge anybody when it comes to Alex Cummings. I can defend Mr. Cummings anywhere, anytime. And it has proven. I've gone on shows where I met people who you think are supposed to be there, and I came out with flying colors. I don't have to lie. But the truth is the truth. You might not agree with me at the time, but by the time I finish, when you close up, you say that thing that boy just said are true. That's it, how it works. At this time, Liberia is looking for a leader who will jumpstart the economy because our economy is down to the least that the world will recognize us again. When you get a better economy, you get good security. A better economy gives you a good education, job creation, agriculture, everything because your economy is good. You will create jobs. Business people will come in. Because if you got good economy, your electricity, you will be able to pay for it instead of just begging. Leadership, security is on you. It's something that you as a leader must know that you say, I'm here to protect and defend the country. You're here to protect every citizen. The laws of Liberia must prevail. The police must do their work. You will be able to pay living wage. Whoever talk about living wage in Liberia? Alex Cummings. Who talk about our national budget? That Liberia national budget should be at least $1 billion, and I will take it there in 2 years. That means I must plan how to get it there. But they gone 785. That means the budget can go to $2 billion because Alex Cummings is a planner. Alex Cummings plan for everything. People overlook him, but everywhere he went, he planned. As a leader, you must plan. So Mr. Cummings was aware, and he knew that he was the new guy on the block who just came into the Liberian politics 18 months because he was never a politician and came out with this amount and said, okay, I will go back and reintroduce myself to the Liberian people. Let them get to know me. And you stay singing, nobody know him. That's a BS. That's a BS. Nobody is lit. Nobody can damage Alex Cummings. It's lit. It's lit. Only the Liberian people, if they vote against Mr. Cummings will accept it. We will accept it. We will accept it. Only the Liberian people, not no chicken or cat or dog or goat or cow or elephant will say, Alex Cummings just coming. We don't know him. If you ask them today, why Alex Cummings cannot be president? He's not qualified. Oh no, he's qualified. To be frank with you, he's qualified. He got this, he got that. But let him just go with the paper. So after the paper finish, so we must compensate. Oh, Mr. Cummings, the only hope you got right now is to go to Mr. Barker, or else leave the race. So what is the hope of Mr. Barker if Mr. Cummings don't go? Mr. Cummings, up to now, he has not named his vice president. Why? Because the light is dimming on Mr. Cummings. Because nobody wants to go with Mr. Cummings. Why the other people are not naming the vice president too? You see how deceptive, you see how wicked they are. They sleep Alex Cummings, they get up Alex Cummings. The child that say the man will not sleep, they themselves will not sleep. You set on a show, fake news like Spoon, and call Mr. Cummings a money launderer. Have you ever one day listened to Spoon and the host of Spoon tells you that I have a nursing school in Florida? No. You ever saw them advertising the school? Because Liberians, all the Liberian women want to be nice now. All the Liberian women want to get into nursing. You ever one day, do you know the name of the school that the CEO of Spoon Communication operates? Because it's a public thing now. Then I know personal business, it's public. Mr. Cummings, who got the Cummings Financial Limited or and trading or something, he got a company. I just lost my train of thought. It's public. Google it. Google it and say Alex Cummings. The Cummings that we talk about every day that nobody know Mr. Cummings. Nobody know Alex Cummings. It plenty. See that Wikipedia, I let to look at it. So they will tell you, yeah, and this is Alex Cummings. When you tell they say Alexander B. Cummings, founder and chairman, Cummings Investment Holding. Plenty. When you say, watch it. When you check who is Stanton A. Waterspoon of Liberia, it's a no results. Okay. Then let's go. But these are the people who cost Mr. Cummings every day on the platform. Okay. They will show his Facebook page. When you check it, nothing will come out. A whitewash. When you click on it, it go to somebody else's name and a whitewash, and they will tell you where. You see somebody else online, and what his name says, Abraham. So what I'm trying to say is that you see the life we live. There's something to say. If you haul rope haul bush. If you haul rope will haul bush. If you go in the bush to invite, to cut, or to do something, to cut a little medicine, understand that the person who medicine that you cutting, that somebody own behind you. The medicine you cutting, the one that behind you, is for somebody. You understand? They get up with Mr. Cummings and they go to bed. So they're acting all nice today. They're talking about CDC, how CDC will win election. They could win because the president will be nice. But look, Liberians are not stupid people. You see, right now, CDC, in fact, let me tell you today, y'all who listen to me, y'all so-called seditionists, All the seditions, all the CDC talk hosts, you know what they're fighting for? They're fighting to bring sedition back. Sedition, he gave it to you before on their own when you were in opposition. How can sedition give it to you now? You got new people coming in. Sedition are not stupid people too. The one who left you, they can't come back because President, we are only fooling them and making fun out of them. That by the time he win, he done with you. They will throw you to the curb. You voted. You campaigned for CDC. CDC in power now going 6 years. They ain't call you. Then they say you must come back again. Tell me, your people, me I give up on you. Then I give up on you. The man telling you to come back the time that he not running again. The time he will not run again. After that, another 6 years. And tell you say we will win. Hey, citizen. My people, I beg you. God made no stupid human being that we ourselves chose to be stupid. The Almighty God never make us to be stupid. Yes. Don't let them take your kindness for stupidity. Don't do it. You struggle 12 years. You was on sedition. You were under the reign. The president pushed the 12 years people and brought people who just started with him in 2011 and kick you out. Look in this government and tell me who in this government that started with CDC 2005. Only the minister, what is this? The minister of finance, the minister of finance, and Pisota. Pisota and Sametwe are the only two ministers in this government, in George Weah government, who started with CDC from 2005. All the other people are so new people. Then they're calling you now to come back. And you run it. You run it. Yeah. You run it coming back. Chappy Charlie. They will dace you any day. All of y'all, they calling back. You go there after the victory, John, we are done with you. Eugene Nangwe, Josh, we are done. Eugene and Fagon, Josh, we are done with you because you caused him. You see, Eugene Nangwe, the relationship between Eugene Nangwe and John Weah, they're not football. They came along with it. They did certain things that nobody, they got their own secret. They got their own secret. Let me tell you today. Certain people who benefited from George Weah, that he believed that he benefited from him, that his sweat maybe were in the stomach. They hang out together. It's easy for George Weah myself to talk. George Weah have told people before that y'all leave that man. That man is my friend. I know he's not supporting me, but one day we'll talk again. You see that? But some of you guys, George Weah done with y'all. Once you open your mouth and you curse him, he's dealing with you. Eugene Fagon, you my brother, I'm telling you, I told you when you myself talked the last time, I said, George Weah had it against you long time. George Weah, your appointment was not done by President Weah. Your appointment into that government was not done by President Weah. Eh? And you went there. You tried to convince him that you are into this revolution. You even went around and begged for stationary, generator, and projector, computers. Why you did it? Why? What you were trying to prove? And when I saw you talking on Spoon, my boy, it's out of frustration, yeah. Let me tell you the real truth. Why you did it? Why you went around to beg for 10 computers as if the government was broke? What you were trying to prove to President Weah, and President Weah still let you down. President Weah still let you down. Let us take a quick commercial break. Let me drink. I can take a shot. Whoa. Oh, Liberian people. In Liberia today, the comings we want to. In Liberia today, the comings we want to. Time 2023 comings we win the election to go to the executive mansion to lead our nation. Oh, comings, the man who we want for our president. Hey, comings, oh, comings, the man where we want to for our president. Liberians say, hey, that comings. Anyway, let's all go take a quick little break and listen to this guy.
How much money did you send to me to campaign for you and fight for you? How many times did you call me? Did you even call me to say, dog, thank you, you are fighting for me? You think we stupid here? Joshua, you think we stupid here? Eugene Nangbe, who said you used to do your homework? Who said you were dull? Who left you behind and joined the ruling party? He served as Secretary General for the ruling party. Now, was I not your lead propagandist against him around Morovia, Bomi, and other areas? You think we stupid here? You and your friends is to take our loyalty for stupidity. You may think Eugene Nangbe, the traitor that forced us to work, even put your hand in your pocket and give me 20 US. You were the captain. You shocked everybody here. That means supposed to campaign. Eugene Nangbe. Patrick.
Okay, guys. That means supposed to campaign for Eugene Nangbe to eat chicken wing. That me, Eugene Fagon. You, President Weah. You get Eugene Nangbe, you get Eugene Fagon $20. The man asked you for $20. You give it to him. You are captain on the old-timer team for the national team, the old-timer. You shock everybody here when you reach to the man, you see him, you did a day, you start talking. That Eugene Fagon will campaign for you, Mr. President. Although Eugene never cast vote in Liberia for you now, and he will not cast vote again because he can't be in Liberia for election. So we're not checking that one there. You see that? The guy on C and Spoon will not vote because he never voted there before. So he's not going to Liberia to vote. He's scared now. Here's the thing. Randy Dabo never voted for Weah and he will not vote again. He will only run him more, and that's it. That the man who say, I'm not a citizen. He said he's not supporting Weah, but he said Weah will win. Okay, Jordan, they say, I'm an independent guy, but Weah will win. Don't fool nobody. Me, I'm a communist man. I have taken a side. If you don't take a side by this time, you don't love your country, Liberia. If you won't go to George Weah, go to George Weah. You won't go to Joseph Boakai, go to Joseph Boakai. You won't go to Tier 1, go to Tier 1. You won't come to commies, go to commies. Let us be civil and respectful of each other. Let it be competition. We are all on the track. We are doing a track and field. It's a relay. We're looking at the finish line. Right now, I got Mr. Weah in front. I got Mr. Boakai behind. Mr. Cummings came from all the way to the fifth. From the fifth place, he now to the second. They are running. They're trying to go towards that finish line. I see Mr. Boakai looking behind. He's running as if he's coming behind. I see President Weah taking his own time. He relaxed. He thinks that he already to the finish line. But I can see Mr. Cummings is stretching. Mr. Cummings came from all the way from fifth place. Now he's to the third place. He's moving. He's closer to Mr. Boakai. Mr. Boakai is running. But when you look at Mr. Boakai again, it's like in 3D. It's like he's coming back instead of going forward. So I think Mr. Cummings will be passing by Mr. Boakai and he might pass by George Weah too at the end of the day. So let's see the race continue. The race will the track is so long. They will reach there, according to my record, they say by October. October before that track and field finish. Tell me that long round. Tell me. What? So you see, the politics. I got to campaign against opposition too now. I'm not cussing them. I'm telling the Liberian people, among all the opposition, we the best. I tell the Liberian people that the way George Weah messed up the country, The way Joanne and steal the money, Joanne can fight corruption. So somebody say, you get proof? I don't want someone to bring proof for you. I don't want in government to bring proof. I see the thing on my eyeball. I see the people building houses just when you planting Grampy. The way that Joanne messed up the economy. Among all the opposition that can fix it, that Mr. Cummings. They see where they say they get governmental experience. Listen, all of them get governmental experience. Governmental experience, it means that you're an economist. Governmental experience, it means that you know how to fix the economy. You're trying to tell me you just want to be political head, and then you're going to look for somebody. But this will be the first time that the president of Liberia, he's an economist. He worked in that field. He got experience. He's the best man with everything. Who knows? Who has the professionals waiting to fix it? And they are right in Liberia. Mr. Cummings look at the entire country and say, we got everything right here. Mr. Cummings look at CDC. He says CDC got more qualified people, but President we have refused to use them. I will use them. I will use them. ANC member don't get vexed. If Mr. Cummings president, in his first cabinet, his first set of cabinets to fill up, they will have a sedition there. Don't get vexed. They will get one for UP. And every county, look, every county will be represented. That's what the Constitution says. That every county should be represented in the government or tribe. You can't do that and just keep other people away. Seditionists are Liberians. ANC members are Liberians. UP members are Liberians. In Liberia, we are opponents. We call ourselves enemies. We are not enemies, my people. I say we because I am a Liberian, but I do not consider people in the other party as my enemies. So I don't care. I don't give a damn. Sometimes I want to take the blame. I cannot take the blame on this other one here too. The Zogos that are in the street, they got one vote. Mr. Cummings got one vote. George Weah got one vote. The man who live in Pittsburgh with a big Mercedes Benz in a big house, he got one vote. Everybody is important in our country. Then you won't tell me you can't take care of the Zogos too when they say got one vote. You won't tell me you can't take care of the handicap when they say got one vote each. Which are alternate people talking? Apart from Darrell Zillon, who's saying that in fact Darrell Zillon got, I will tell you at the time he was running, he had handicaps and other people on his team. Apart from that, Mr. Cummings is the only one who has a plan for Group of 77 for our disabled. Mr. Cummings is the only one who respects them. He went to one of their homes and told Siriki and Jala and other people, do not carry a life. Do not carry a life to a mental home. It was a mental home. He said, do not carry a life. Not the handicap. He went to a mental home where landlord Liberians and somebody got a place. Mr. Cummings said, no, do not carry a life. And don't even talk about what I bring here. So there are places when it comes to mental homes and mental retaliation in our country for special needs people. Today in Liberia, you don't even have a handicap spot. You listen to the handicap I was talking about George Weah, that President Weah refused to see them as if he got medicine. He don't want to see handicapped people. They all say President Weah will win. President Weah will win. When you left Eugene Fagon, let's listen to Eugene Fagon again.
How much money did you send to me to campaign for you and fight for you? How many times did you call me? Did you even call me to say, dog, thank you are fighting for me? You think we stupid here? Joshua, you think we stupid here? Eugene Nangbe, who say he used to do your homework? Who say you are dull? who left you behind and joined the ruling party. He served as Secretary General for the ruling party. Now, was I not your lead propagandist against him around Monrovia, Bomi, and other areas? You think we stupid here? You and your friends is to take our loyalty for stupidity. You may think Eugene Langbe, the traitor that forced us to work, pleading, put your hand in your pocket and give me $20 US. You were the captain. You shocked everybody here. That means supposed to campaign. Eugene Langbe. Patrick.
Okay, guys. You see, that's what Falcon say. That your own people now. So we got a lot of tips that will be played in Liberia. All these tips will play them in video club. Don't worry. We'll play Molba Molu tape in video club. Have Molba Molu admitted that President we are travel. He gets money and put it in his own pocket and say it for him. That CDC party, man, they say that drunk talk. They say he drank Campari that day. They say he was drinking Campari. According to Sereno Cephas, he said they couldn't ask him because the man was drunk. But the man drank King juice that day. So you see how bad. So that means if you drunk in Liberia and you kill somebody, they say, my man, the man drunk, man. The man said the president left one more. That the same man who said he saw Akara's Gray and George we are kissing in the hallway. That the same guy who said he met Barack Obama in Ghana. And he had a Queen Solomon church. Look, CDC, the entire thing that scam, they can lie. They can lie. George Weah left, President Weah left like America for Ghana. Priska Pauling said, the president was having a dinner in DC. Do you know what they call Priska Pauling? Sametwe. Sametwe is in Turkey on taxpayer money. Sametwe left from Monrovia, went to Lofa County on his own thing. They invited him. He was not on government assignment. He went there, he started talking politics. On his way, I think it was a plan. Maybe he wanted to go take a rest. They left the driver. Why Sametwe could not go to Hospital 14? Usually, if I go say Hospital 14 is a state of the art, the best hospital in Liberia, Hospital 14. Why didn't go there? They left the driver. They put Sametwe straight to Turkey. Enjoy himself in the hospital. But whole day, Moth running on Facebook, he texting. Anytime you see Priska, Pauling, that Sametwe, the man would say Seku, but he texting. Or that he driver or that he somebody texting for him. Yeah. The country is done. We can fix it. We can't give up. We can't give up. By the grace of God, our Christmas next year will be better. Because I want President will be packing things up. Because after the election, the inauguration is 2024. So, those of us who say Mr. Cummings is nothing, it's up to you. It is your right to believe. It's not my right. I'm not reading no comments, so I can see no comments here right now. But I know some of the citizens are very nice talking. So, guys, thank you. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I pray that God will bless every one of us. Be careful how you drive. There are so many drivers out there. You know, something I really don't go on Christmas Day is for kids. When I was coming up, I had a good Christmas. But this at that time, your mom buy your lace suit. And that Christmas suit they buy for you the whole year. Then we'll go and visit our auntie there in the area. Then you buy a little firecracker. You know what you call firecracker? Fireworks. We buy it and we fire it. And that day we eat good food. Then we get the woman baker John Corico, Emma Baker John Corico, Emma Baker John Corico. It's not in Liberia anymore. I want to tell you something. The 41 person are watching me. If you're in America, your Christmas is good in America. Because every day you got Christmas. You buy things for your children every day. You bought iPad, this and that. One day, you don't buy for them, you worry. Ask yourself the question. How many children going to go home with no food, go to bed? All the way we broke. We still want to lay $100, lay $200, and share with somebody with $10. You gotta know them. Ask yourself, how many children will go to bed on Christmas Day that don't have food? Search yourself. Go on your Facebook pages. Go into your messages, your messenger, and just take some kind of name from there and get somebody $10 on SendWave. God will bless you. We sit in America, we eat good food. We eat good food. We got free food to eat. Some of us will tell our brothers and sisters that they not. They read it because they call us. Why? Is that the kind of country you want? Is that the kind of country you want? You in America, even if you don't work, you can get unemployment. You can get free food. You know how many children in Liberia that don't have it? Do you know how many children today? How many calls so that we so embarrassed, you don't want to pick up the calls? And we sit and see people doing things, and we follow that you in the greatest country that you will never suffer in your life. Other Liberians praying that if it can come, some of them didn't get relatives here. But we sit down and glorify. I don't love Mr. Cummings. I love him as a human being. But I don't love him. That's why I want to support him. That because I admire him, he got no reason of being in politics. He has no reason of being in politics. He could live a good life. The children said he worked. But I see some of us that God bless us. We want to turn it around because of our selfishness within us, our selfishness. That if I do this, I will get this. Don't do it for yourself. What I'm doing to them is not coming, man. I call me tomorrow. So I should get mad if you don't call me tomorrow. But somebody, don't never do it for yourself. Do it for somebody behind you. You got children. If you don't have none, you got nieces, nephews. You want to go home, retire, and relax yourself in your little small Congo. Hey, let me beg you. Even a $5, same way, so easy now. Just look there. $100, that 20% right there. We sit here, we curse each other. We call people gay. Because you don't like comments, you call him gay. You call the person criminals. We all do it. We all do it. We attack each other. Sometimes we try to get out of our character and get into the worst one, but we can't make it. We able it. You think we'll come on my platform there and curse Mr. Bwaka like that? Or curse Mr. Weir? But in politics, we must be real to each other. Who can make it? They can't make it. They're not your friend. They're not because of friendship. Contract comes first. before you go to counties, before you come to tribe. Tribe is the least. Tribe is the least. It's country first. Then before you think about your county association, then before you won't get tribal association. Where you from? You Congo man. Oh, you're part from this country here. Oh, you're not Liberian. Oh, you're not this. You go to school, you Congo man. You get money, you Congo man. When you poor, you country man. Why? The year coming to an end. The year is coming to an end. Are we still going to be the same? But some of you say we shouldn't attack the government. Only the government can bring peace. Only the government can unite us. Opposition cannot go have a big forum on unification. What sense it make? Only the government. If President he started something good and he said, play street football. But you play street football, everybody watching the game, the ECDC uniform. How can I go there? Well, right in America, they put me outside of a Liberian program where social seditions. Right in Liberia, the president only talking to sedition. He can't say, listen, my people, I only want to see Liberia. Nobody wears CDC uniform. This is not CDC thing. And I don't think Mr. Cummings will be brave because why I believe that Cummings will not do it. There are people who supporting Mr. Cummings. They are not member of ANC. Louis Brown is not a member of ANC. Westmore is not a member of ANC. Mr. McIntosh is not a member of ANC. Bellete is not a member of ANC. I am not even a member of ANC. Why? Why, my people? Why? Why? The man don't look at you as member. He look at you first as a Liberian and need your support. And then you will make up your mind to register to be member. When he brought Alva was not a member of ANC. When he brought Yakura, she was not a member of ANC. When they brought in in-laws, he was not a member of ANC. There are so many people that was not members. They decided to be members on their own. That's what makes us great. That's what makes us good. But you really say ANC people that are arrogant. They prove to do all kind of things. No, my people. If we can't get it right, we'll not get it again. I'm sorry for being that emotional. I'm very sorry. But it's sometimes bothered my wife. My wife asked me, I was sitting just yesterday. She said, babe, why are you so quiet? I said, Malaka, I'm receiving too many calls. I'm receiving too many calls. But I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. She said, but I shut up. I said, no, man, I can't shut my phone off. Sometimes I can't even pick up the calls. But I know what they're calling for. So tomorrow is Saturday. Some people will be lucky to get $10. Some people get $25. I got to eat. My family back home. I got mom. I got this. But that's what I can give. I'm not rich. Some people got it. They brags about it. Some people gave 5 cents. They let the whole world know that they gave 5 cents to John Brown. But people who I gave money to, I don't talk about your name. And I want to say thanks to everybody who been watching me. Those of you who make contribution to this show before financially, I know y'all. Some of y'all say we shouldn't call your name, which it's not bad. Like somebody called me and different say, but Muni, you're supposed to tell us, listen, I tell y'all to raise money to buy bike for my picking. I ain't get it yet. Only the same people that I know that make contribution. Then you say I'm gonna call for small things to give other people. But anyway, that's it. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Christmas. Hopefully we might talk tomorrow or on Sunday, which is on Christmas Day. But be careful how you drive. And you that in Liberia, if you own this thing here watching me, be very careful. Keep in your community. Keep in your community. I show this thing here. This. I'm not drinking it. I've been drinking this thing. One of my favorite drinks. Sometimes I want my mouth to be bitter. I drink it. But I've been having it for some time now. So I just want to show it to you about me not drinking it. Yeah. It's not the time. Sometimes That's one of my favorites, so I got plenty. No, this is why I'm drinking. So y'all take it easy, eh? God bless you. Let's just be good to each other. To the fake news people, I hope you be good for next year. You can't damage Cummings. You can't do nothing to Alex Cummings. No matter how you try to tell the people about Alex Cummings live in Liberia. I know sometimes you guys can be afraid because you're in America. Oh, spoon Mr. Cummings and spoon this and that. Listen to me. Mr. Cummings live in Liberia. There are other radio stations in Liberia that Mr. Cummings can use. He don't have to use spoon. So if Mr. Cummings were not in Liberia, it's different. But Mr. Cummings is capable and have the ability, financially strong, to go anywhere in Liberia and to talk to anybody. Mr. Cummings will not buy nobody vote. If you listen to me, Mr. Cummings will not buy your vote. If you won't vote for George Weah, that's your choice. You won't vote for Bwaka, that's your choice. You won't vote for Mr. Cummings, that's your choice. But it is you who has the bird in your hands. You can squeeze it and kill it. You can open your hands and let it go. You can open your hand and let it go. Or you can squeeze it to death. So the future of Liberia is in your hands. Especially from the 19 to the 35 years old. You don't want got it. There's no disunity among oppositions. We are just opposition, that's all. We are just opposition. That just Unity Party has the right to convince the Liberian people why they shouldn't vote for Cummings. But Unity Party can't be causing Mr. Cummings, but can tell the Liberian people why Cummings can be president. Mr. Cummings people can tell the Unity Party people say why tell the Liberian people why Mr. Bwaka cannot be president, but you can't cause Mr. Bwaka. So you can tell them why Gonglo can tell the Liberian people why I don't vote for none of them, vote for me. But at the same time, every one of us who talking to each other, we focusing on this guy who has already messed up. Every one of us, yes, we talking almost like in the Democratic Party where everybody want to be candidate. Every one of us here telling this guy we already know his record. We never knew it before. We gave it to him because they say he went to refugee camp. We all focusing on him. Because you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know. This is not a rocket science. You know that he's already bad. You have seen how many people have been killed, and this president do not speak about it. Even his own ministers, his people, the information minister said only $15,000 will get. We can't do nothing. All the district in Montserrat that he considered that the only place he's running, he didn't do nothing for the district. Only District 10, the place Yeke. You go to 17, nothing. You go to 16, nothing. You go all the district, nothing. All the representatives just chop. So, but at the same time, I can tell the Liberian people, say, listen, John, we are messing up. I'm the best man. The other guy, yes, they're not bad. We're in the same group, but what I got, they ain't get it. Then I can say, no, you see Mr. Cummings there? Mr. Cummings can be president. Because I believe that I the one was there for 12 years and vice president. Maybe I saw all the little secrets, so I know it now. It's up to them. But we don't want talking about that now. We don't want buttressing them, telling them, say, UP did some stuff. President Weah want to take responsibility of his failure. President Weah, all he knows that he do nothing wrong. He fixing what is poor, that he want to campaign. But he forgot that he don't want to support the Ralphie Highway. People dying on the road. He forgot he don't want to support the Buchanan Highway because it was fixed before. He forgot that he support plenty of road there. And they have money for the road and he free eating it. You see that? So, tell me. My bro, I won't leave you, man, but I can't leave you. I gotta go. that the wife doing all the Christmas shopping and not doing no Christmas shopping. Okay. Yeah, thank you, my people. So that means in Liberia today, the comments we want to. Merry Christmas in the comments. Merry Christmas, Billy. Merry Christmas to the comments team. Merry Christmas to the CPP USA. Merry Christmas to the ANC Global. Merry Christmas to ANC. Merry Christmas to all the comments supporters. Merry Christmas to the independent people who love, who want to be with Mr. Cummings. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to my physician brothers and sisters. Merry Christmas to people who hate Mr. Cummings. Merry Christmas to Spoon. Merry Christmas to everybody. I love you, but God loves you best. Let us understand. This is a day that will put aside for us to realize and recognize our Savior, Jesus Christ. Even the Muslim know about it. But remember, it is not your birthday. It's the birthday of Jesus Christ. So please, don't take off on Sunday. Don't call out. Pop into a church and say, thank you, Jesus. God bless us all. I love you. God love you best. Let us love each other. So, voila. Now, many that group I just spoke, I say, I go. Bye.